Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are on lesson 4 of beginner phrasal verbs. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, this is what you will learn in this lesson. Number 1, to take part in. It means to be involved in, to participate in, also to be in on. Martin was sick and could not take part in the meeting yesterday. So for those of you that are studying business English, you can definitely use this in your job. I didn't want to be in on their argument, so I remained silent. Or you can say, don't take part in someone else's argument. Have you ever taken part in an international project? Yes, I have. Or no, I haven't. Okay, number 2, we have at all, to any degree, also in the least. This idiom is used with the negative to emphasize a statement. Larry isn't at all shy about expressing his opinions. Not to any degree, 0. Larry isn't shy at all or in the least. When I asked Donna whether she was tired, she said, not in the least. I'm full of energy. I'm not tired at all. How tired are you? Or are you not tired at all? Or in the least? Does your current workflow make sense at all? Or is it too chaotic? In other words, does it make even a little sense just at all or in the least? Okay, you could respond by saying, yes, my current workflow makes sense. Or if you want to go with the negative, no, my workflow doesn't make sense at all. Number 3, to look up, to locate information in a directory, dictionary, book, etc. This is separable. That's why we see the S right there. It's separable. That means the words don't have to be next to each other in the sentence. Elena suggested that we look up the store's telephone number on the internet. Students should try to understand the meaning of a new word from context before looking the word up in the dictionary. So as you can see there, we have the word in the middle of looking up. That's the example where it's separable. So which website do you usually look up? Or let's say another question, what do you like to look up on the internet? I like to look up nutrition. I like to look up new business English information. It's one of my favorite topics. That's why I teach business English, because I'm naturally curious about it. Okay, number 4, to wait on, to serve in a store or restaurant. A very pleasant young clerk waited on me in the shop. The restaurant server asked us, has anyone waited on you yet? Basically, it means help. Has anyone helped you? But in the context of a restaurant or store, okay? It doesn't really mean that I'm waiting on you or you're waiting on someone or someone's being waited on. For example, I'm at the store and I'm waiting on my wife. No, okay, it doesn't mean to wait on. It's the phrasal verb meaning, which is another definition, and it's to be served, like it says in the definition. So, has anyone waited on you yet? Most likely you'll hear, has anyone helped you yet? Has anyone given you a table? Has anyone assisted you perhaps? Okay, so but you can say waited on. No, I haven't been waited on yet. Not waited on like somebody's waiting for me. Okay, so just be careful with that one. All right, number 5, at least. It means a minimum of, no fewer or less than. I spend at least 2 hours every night studying. So if you're learning business English, you should spend at least, my recommendation is at least 1 hour a day, 5 times a week. So Monday through Friday. If you can put more than 5 hours a week, that would be great, but at least 1 hour a day. And you can really, really improve your business English skills very quickly because it's, at least 5 hours a week. So at least at a minimum. If you don't have time, you can get at least 30 minutes. Definitely. Mike drinks at least a quart of water every day. That's right. If you're doing a lot of exercise, you like sports, make sure to drink drink at least a quart or a liter or a lot of water. That's for sure. At least a lot of water. And the question is, how many hours of sleep do you need? How many hours of sleep do you need at least to be productive? So how would you respond to that question? How many hours of sleep do you need at least to be productive? I need at least, to be productive, not that I'll enjoy it, but to be productive, I need at least 7 hours. But to be productive and happy and enjoy what I do, I would say at least 8 hours. And I'm saying like complete 8 hours at least. Or it feels like it would be 2 of the REM cycle sleep. I don't know if you know about REM cycle sleep, but I need at least 2 cycles. And plus, because I like to exercise, so I'm even tired because of exercise, not only work, but also exercise. So for me, at least 7 hours, but more than 8 would be the best. Okay. Number 6, so far, until now, until the present time, also we can say up to now, as of yet. This idiom is usually used with the present perfect tense. So far, now as you notice in the beginning of the first example, it's right there in the beginning. So far, okay? Don't forget, you can definitely put it at the beginning. My recommendation to make it easy, just say it in the beginning. So far, this year has been excellent. And there's that present perfect tense, has been. This year has been excellent for business. I hope the good luck continues. The second example, how many idioms have we studied in this book up to now? So from the beginning, lesson 1, up to now, lesson 4. So it's been, I think, 36. 36 idioms. So it's a good bit that we've studied up to now or so far. As of yet, we have not had an answer from him. So you called the person yesterday, you emailed the person yesterday, and then you connected to the present. And as of yet, you're combining the past and the present. As of yet, no response. We have not received a response. And again, there's that present perfect tense. Okay, very important, especially in business. The question is, how has your month been going so far in terms of sales or goals? How would you respond to that question? And remember, focus on the tense. It's very important we focus on the tense, all right? So how has your month been going so far? So far, my month has been going well. Or so far, my sales have not been going so well. So you can answer it a couple different ways, but don't forget present perfect tense. You don't want to say, so far, my month is good, or so far, I am working well. No, so far, I have worked, I have been working, my month has been going, okay? Present perfect tense. All right, number 7, to take a walk, hike, etc. A hike involves challenging, strenuous walking, usually up a hill or mountain, okay? So we know that one. We know take a walk, but take a hike, in case you don't know what a hike is when you're climbing up the mountain. Very popular hobby it's always been popular, I think, but especially in the last like 10 years or since COVID. It's definitely, hiking is very good. So maybe some of you like to take a walk on the weekends. Last evening, we took a walk around the park. Or in the second example, let's take a hike up Cowles Mountain this afternoon. I don't know. I'm tired from work. I don't know if I want to go take a hike, but I enjoy taking a hike though, but on Sundays for me. Let's see the question. Do you take a walk when you need to solve a difficult problem? Hey, that's a good strategy, because apparently when you walk, this is according to what I read, and Steve Jobs, that's why he did it. He would go on walks with the executives, and because when you're walking, you're really focused. You're focused on walking, and I think it has something to do with the eyes. There's like these very tiny vibrations, but when you're walking, since you're walking, your eyes are not vibrating, so you can really focus on the conversation or the problem. But it definitely helps me to take a walk. Oh, sometimes I also take a drive. So maybe some of you take a drive to really think about problems, think of solutions. Okay, number 8, to take a trip, to go on a journey, to travel, to take a trip. I'm so busy at work that I've had no time to take a trip. I would recommend taking a trip because you might get burned out out. Be careful. So taking a trip is really a good moment to, disconnect from work. During the summer holidays, the Thompsons took a trip to Europe. Well, lucky them, aren't they? The Thompsons, they can take a trip to Europe. Wow, amazing. Okay, the question is, where will you take a trip for your next business conference? You can say, I will take a trip to New York. I will take a trip to France, right? If you have I have a student that will take a trip to Paris. As a matter of fact, I think she's leaving next month. So she works in the aviation industry, and so she has a business conference there she has to go to for about 3 days. I remember we've talked about it a few times. So number 9, to try on, to wear clothes, to check the style or fit before buying. This is another phrasal verb that is separable. So he tried. We're going to see that in the second example. The first example is he tried on several suits before he picked out a blue one. Right? In my case, I typically try on 2 to 3 pieces of clothing before I go with my selection, what I'm going to buy. Now here we go with the separable example. Why don't you try these shoes on next? All right. So maybe that's your mom or your wife or your girlfriend say, hey, try these on. I want you to try these on. And I say, go ahead, try them on. Don't fight them. Okay. Because they can see things that we don't. Typically, in my case, I just put on whatever. This is fine. But it's always good to have extra help, right? To try things on. Let's see the question. And again, don't forget to focus on the tense. Very important. Have you ever tried on a new leadership style that felt uncomfortable? Imagine you're a leader. Well, you're a leader, but you are maybe more dictatorial. In other words, what you want is going to be done. There's no negotiating with with your employees, your subordinates. They just are going to do exactly what you say. But maybe you're trying on a more democratic leadership style and you want to discuss the actions with them before something gets done. So what do you think? Should we do this or that? Maybe you're trying on that leadership style instead of a more traditional style where it's just do what I tell you and we're not going to discuss it. All right, number 10, to think over, to consider carefully before deciding. This is another one that is separable. I'd like to think over your offer first. Then can we talk it over tomorrow? All right. So think over. It's similar to think, but the extra part in the phrasal verb is that you're considering it, right? Because you can think of random things. I can think of fishing. I can think of sports. I can think of my students, but to think it over, you're considering something. Should I do this or that? Should I buy a new car or buy a used car? That's to think it over, right? So if somebody's selling you a vehicle and say, well, let me think it over. I like the car, the price is good, but I still have to think it over. Now, the second example, you don't have to give me your decision now. Think it over for a while. Exactly what I was talking about. Okay. And how long did you think over your last job offer before signing? You were offered a job, you went through the process, the interview process, you gave them all the documentation, and then they come and say, okay, you know what? Here's what we have to offer you. This is the schedule. These are your responsibilities, and this is your salary. So how long did it take you to think it over? Maybe some of you say, yeah, no, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and sign. Or can I think it over and I'll let you know tomorrow? But don't take too much time to think it over. All right. Okay. And number 11, to take place, to occur, to happen according to plan. Let's take a look at the first example. The regular meetings of the committee take place in Constitution Hall. That's where they occur. They take place in. So I want you to think of big meetings in your company. Where do they take place? Maybe they take place in a venue once a year at the end of the year, December, the Christmas party, everybody's there. So they take place outside of the business location because you want not a proper area venue. So that's where they take place. I thought that the celebration was taking place at John's house, right? So they're going to celebrate a graduation or I don't know, a baby shower, whatever the case may be. And where's it taking place? At John's house. When does your weekly team meeting usually take place? Well, mine usually takes place Sundays or Mondays. The director on Sundays, but then Mondays it's the team, but it could be one or the other. And what about you? When does your weekly team meeting usually take place? Hopefully maybe not Fridays or Saturdays. That would be bad too, right? Okay, and the last phrasal verb is to put away. To remove from sight, to put in the proper place. And this one is also separable. Please put away your papers before you open the test booklet. So that means put away. Put away means to put it in a different location, but you can't see it. So put away the cell phone, for example, you shouldn't put it just on the table or flip it over. No, put it away as in put it in your pocket, put it away. I don't want to see it like that, right? Let's say if your parents, you're eating dinner with them, something like that, or you're in a meeting, you want to put away the cell phone. The second example where it's separable, John put the notepad away in his desk when he was finished with it. So right there, put it away in his desk, in the drawer, couldn't see the notebook, right? So it's not put aside or just put it over there. It's put away, hide it. We don't want to see it. All right. The question is, do you put away your phone as soon as you get home? I don't know. I don't do that, but maybe I definitely put it away before going to sleep. I don't want to see it. It's not good for your eyes. I struggle when I don't put it away to go to sleep. So the best thing is put away the phone before you go to sleep, right? What about you? Do you put away your phone? Let's do a quick review. All right. Number one is to take part in, to be involved in, to participate in. Number two, at all, to any degree. Number three, to look up, to locate information in a directory, dictionary, book, etc. Number four, to wait on, to serve in a store or restaurant. Number five, at least, a minimum of, no fewer or less than. So far, until now, until the present time. To take a hike, a walk, etc. Maybe even take a drive. To go for a walk, a hike, just go on that activity. Number 8, to take a trip, to go on a journey, to travel. Number 9, to try on, to wear clothes, to check the style or fitting before buying. Number 10, to think over, to consider carefully before deciding. Number 11, to take place, to occur, to happen according to plan. And the last phrasal verb for this lesson, to put away, to remove from sight, to put in the proper place. All right, so those are the phrasal verbs. And so let's go way back to the beginning. All right, here we go. And so these are the ones that we've gone over. And if you're interested in your own private business English classes focused on fluency and your confidence, the link is in the description below. You can get a free business English class and we can take a look at specifically the areas that you need to work on, create a plan, and hopefully get to see you guys and girls. All right. We'll see everyone in the next video, lesson 5. If you haven't watched lesson 1, 2, 3, I recommend it. Okay. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.